Okay, yeah.
We want to fix it.
Sure. Okay, guys, good afternoon from Houston. So, do we call this the Billionaire Table Talk? So, I have Deep Boy here, I'm here, and then we have Dr. Cosmos. So, few questions. So, Deep Boy will start. He will ask Dr. Cosmos questions. At some point, I may pick up questions from you, the audience, as well. If you have any question on business, Dr. Cosmo is a sage. He's been in business for over 50 years. And so soaking from his wealth of knowledge. We just finished the Business Growth Conference yesterday here in Houston. We still have the Singapore retreat with business owners. You're going to be spending 6 days with myself, with Dr. Cosmos, and Deepo just agreed to also be part of Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you're interested in joining us in Singapore, November 28th to December 4th, you can send a DM and we'll give you all the details. But Deepo, what's your first question?
Yeah, I mean, you just alluded to the fact that we concluded the Business Growth Conference in Texas, and it was phenomenal. One of the questions that I asked Doc yesterday that I think will be great to even elaborate on is some of the mistakes you see a lot of young entrepreneurs making today. Either those who are looking to become an entrepreneur or those who are already entrepreneurs, and why is it difficult for them to move to the next level?
There are two mistakes they make that usually a great challenge. One is having the top of the organization, loaded, and that is to say, at startup, you need to be lean at the top because capital is everything you require to really scale up at that, subject to the level of the nature of business you are into. If you are in a business that you are selling merchandise, the customers only come to your store if it's filled and if what they are looking for is available.
Sure.
No matter how I feel empathy to you, if I'm looking for a particular product, I come to your store 5 times, I don't see it. You will never be in the list of the first 2-3 stores I want to look at. So how do customers come to one shop is that whatever I'm looking for, I'm sure if I get to you, I'll be able to find it. Therefore, the need to keep those merchandise cannot be overemphasized. So why do you take all the capital you require to stock your merchandise, to buy a new car, to show up and all of those things? That business should be given priority because that is the bird that will bring food for you later. So you don't need to be in a hurry to cut the wing, to eat the leg, support it, everything, because as long as it's alive, then your business would go.
Yeah.
The second mistake a lot of young people make is once they see capital start rolling in, without the business stabilizing, because you can only say this business has stabilized after 2 or 3 years or 5, you could see consistent level of income coming. The natural thing is that once people see cash moving and see you actually, people are coming up with the idea to you, hey guy, you are wasting your time. You crazy. This is where the world is. This is what need to be done. You need to put money into this. And the young guy, out of excitement to show he has arrived, will use his capital that he need to expand his business, go and divert it in some of those things. Sometimes, if they have access to borrowing, they over-leverage by over-borrowing. And at the end of the day, the interest cost put pressure on the business, you begin to suffocate. Okay? Simple word is to defy your gratification. Whatever that excites you, keep it aside. Let that business, because you are working for sustainability, give that business everything they require. Because the airplane greatest challenge is to take off the ground. That's where the captain need to pay all the attention, make sure no mistake is made. Once the plane is on the air, it cruises with the air. The pressure is not on the captain. The plane can fly on autopilot. But to get to that level, that altitude is what is important. Until you get there, keep your ego eyes on the capital. Don't fool with it.
So in other words, just to make sure I understand that as a new person who's starting a business, number one, focus is required.
Absolutely.
Number two, when you even start making money, the key is to focus on scaling the business and not diversify in quote unquote multiple streams of income.
Absolutely. That's it.
My own question is for entrepreneurs who are back in Africa. I mean, we are here in Houston, but a lot of entrepreneurs are based in Africa, their business in Africa. How do they handle the challenges with government, from taxes to government agencies who just frustrate people we in the real estate sector, for example, have situation now, you just hear government say so number of estates are illegal, and these are estates fully built, people are living there. I mean, all these years you didn't see it as illegal. So how do you, and these things have implication on perception, on how people see you, on how people begin to analyze your brand, and most times you've not done anything wrong, but you've been given that kind of bad name. How do you handle it?
Well, that's third world country problem. Every third world country goes through that. That's not something one can profile you because it's not personalized. It happens to everybody. Very unfortunate, I don't want to use some strange language, but some people say like it's a jungle city and things like that. But they will go through it. Sometimes government does that to intimidate the people before they put some outrageous bill on you. It's not like they want to demolish that property. It's just to make you feel humble and guilty, and then make some outrageous demand on you. Those are challenge of third world country. Where the challenge comes is like if it's an estate you have already built, individuals had them, they begin to blame the owner. You never told us, but you, the owner, never knew. I own properties that I've been in for 40 years, 50 years, approved by Lagos. Suddenly Lagos State will say, bring the approval. As if you made that construction without approval. They were the people who approved it, who have all the documents, who gave you all the fees you pay, but they are not going into their own record. They are insisting you bring your own record for their own approval. And they will come and seal the property that you have not brought the approval. So, these things ought not to be there. If there are really where people can seek redress, you can go to court and challenge them. But in the other environment, they own also the court. So you are under their mercy. You need to go and look for the documents and submit to them. They will revalidate it to tell you what more you need to pay. But you begin to wonder, how can they not update their system? Because in another 20 years, they will come back and ask you to bring the documents of the place. There's no construction happening in Lagos that is not approved by Lagos State. Where I'm living in Ikoyi was approved 20 years ago. I paid all the fees, but they still have to ask me to bring all the drawings that they approve. So it doesn't make no sense. So there's no way to go about it. We just have to live with it, to know that it's a third world country problem, and not take it on the business owner as if he is hiding something to you. You are not a stranger. You are part of the system. So you just have to accept it that that's part of the system. We live with it. It's not going to create you any, it's not going to shut you down, but it's just going to inconvenience you. And sometimes, I like to use the word, they extort more money from you, period.
So that actually brings it to a question that I wanted to ask. one thing everybody knows you for is you walk around with a badge that Jesus is Lord,
Sure.
right? And you operate in a country where corruption, so many things are happening.
Absolutely.
How can you, as a Christian or a believer, run an ethical business in a corrupt environment?
This question has always come forth very repeatedly and often time. And I tell people, look, mindset is important because if you operate with a mindset living in the gap and not in the game, it gives you a negative mindset. You are always looking